and welcome to another episode of Heywood and Stuff. Today I'm going to be talking about ADHD and motivation, or lack of motivation. If you are an ADHD or you think you're an ADHD, you may be able to resonate with a couple of these examples. You've just started a project that you're really enthusiastic about, you're really excited about this one, this is your baby, and then suddenly out of nowhere, possibly because of one little hiccup or one little thing that goes wrong, motivation is gone. The invisible wall of absolute nothingness hits you for no reason that you can gather, that you can figure out in your mind, in your brain. You have got no motivation left. You have been blocked. Not again. It can't be possible. Please tell me it's not happened again. I got to the point in my life where every time this happened, I would just walk away from the project because I knew that in that moment, once the motivation was gone, I was fucked. That is, of course, if you're lucky enough to even get to start the project. And let me be clear, this isn't just about projects, this is about cleaning. This is about talking to that mate that's still waiting for your reply on the phone. Every aspect of your life that needs just the smallest of motivation, but it's gone. Really, two main issues here when it comes to motivation. One is, as I will show you right now, it's when motivation just decides to leave. Goodbye, I don't need you, I never cared. And the second is more for the experienced ADHD. I've just figured out what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna buy old furniture, I'm gonna do it up, and I'm gonna resell it. I love that idea. Yeah, that's brilliant. I can paint it, and I've got lots of good ideas. I know I've got good ideas. But I guess I would have to go get the furniture, and I don't drive, I haven't got a car. Yeah, oh god, and it could be quite expensive, and I'd probably have to get the right tools for it, and then I'd have to paint it, and then I'd have to store it somewhere. Oh god, and then I'd have to sell it, and I don't know anything about that. Oof, no, maybe I won't bother. Too complicated, too overwhelming. Ooh. I feel shit. After years of having ADHD, after years of failed projects, after years of letting yourself down or letting other people down, of really struggling with this bitch, you may find yourself self-sabotaging even before you've started a project. So make it into practical becomes too overwhelming. Those overwhelming thoughts, them alone, just them, that can stop you from actually doing the bloody thing. So what in the fuck is going on? So it's no secret that our ADHD brains are wired slightly differently. In order to get something done, in order to find motivation to do something, we need it to be exciting, we need it to be new, we need it to be different, engaging. And of course, the quickest way to get us motivated is if something is stimulating. If it stimulates the senses, it will rise beneath you and motivation will come out like that. Now, of course, all these aspects that you see around me, they're going to ignite motivation in most of us, neurodivergent and neurotypical. However, the good old ADHDer not only needs these things, but without these things, he will find himself hitting up that invisible wall of doom, which often ends up becoming the invisible wall of shame, confusion, desperation, depression, sadness, anxiety. You see, a neurotypical person can find motivation within the fact that the job just needs to get done. The kitchen is a mess and you know you've got to get it done. A neurotypical will find enough motivation, it can look that far into the bloody future that they know that once a kitchen is clean, it will be done. Satisfaction, feeling good, motivation, it's enough, let's get it done. ADHD, what's up? Big old job to do, and of course the kitchen is not just messy, it's fucking well messy because you've left it 3 days longer than you should have done, and there's that one plate at the bottom of the sink that started growing something that shouldn't be in the kitchen. After continuous negative experiences with failing projects and not getting things done and potentially letting people down and letting yourself down, it's not surprising that after a while you're going to have a pretty shitty internal dialogue. It can sabotage everything that you do going forward trying to do new projects. But there is no way that we should let these sabotaging thoughts be our truth and be our reality. There are coping strategies, tricks, tips, and methods in which to ignite a little bit of motivation into your struggles. Your internal dialogue is absolute key to having a healthy mind and how you perceive yourself, being nice to yourself. And it's easier said than done. Some of us have spent years and years and years bullying ourselves and talking ourselves down. Having compassion for yourself is crucial to helping yourself get to a better place, ADHD or not. Got videos here that you can check out, because ultimately you can find all the ADHD tricks, tips, hacks, plaques, slacks, find all the coping strategies in the world, but if your internal dialogue is still putting you down, still making you feel like a piece of shit, and you're believing it, all the hacks, tricks and tips in the world are always gonna be poisoned by this, tarnished, ruined. Change your external environment. The ADHD brain kind of gets zooped into action when you're in a different place. To be in your comfort zone can sometimes just zap out your motivation. So go to a cafe or the beach or the woodlands or somewhere nice, somewhere different to your normal current place of desk. Do you know what I mean? Does it make sense? I hate myself. Sort it out. I love myself. Who am I? Who are you? Talk to me. If you've got to sit down for a lengthy amount of time, motivation can quickly fuck off. Give yourself little breaks, mini breaks every now and then. I do it about every 20 minutes. After those 20 minutes, you're going to give yourself a reward, perhaps a biscuit, a chocolate bar, a cup of tea, maybe, I don't know, quick wank, I don't know. It's whatever you need to do to be able to get it done. These little rewards are sometimes enough incentive for you to just get on with the business in hand. Put some music on. I like to use lo-fi, I've mentioned it before. Also something like Liquid Garage is also pretty good. It's got more of a beat, up tempo, and I can get myself in the zone when I've got a longer project. Obvious ones that you will probably not want to hear: diet, sleep, exercise, and medication. Medication is a game changer for a lot of people when it comes to motivation. It can just break down that invisible wall of doom and make you go on then, I'll do it. A lot of these things are very daunting and sometimes seem quite impossible. I'm coming from a privileged viewpoint as I am medicated, and I know that the medication has helped me. I sometimes have to remind myself that being non-medicated makes the struggle so much harder. Even with all these things, sometimes it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be difficult, but the more that we can put towards helping ourselves, the better, right? Like, that's what it's about. So another little method to get some of those more daunting projects done is just to break them down into smaller increments. You want to start this new furniture flipping business. There's so many steps to beginning to end to make this happen that it becomes overwhelming. What do? 90% of it, just push that out of the way. What is the first step that you need to do to get this thing rolling? Get yourself a piece of furniture. Don't think anywhere on beyond that. Do the first step, and then kind of ties in with this Japanese method called the Kaizen method, right? Every day just doing one little thing extra. So whereas today you did nothing because you couldn't find the motivation, tomorrow all you have to do is to get out of bed. This is a very extreme example, but bear with me. And the day after that, you get out of bed and you put on your socks. The day after that, you get out of bed, you put on your socks, you put on your trousers. The day after that, you get out of bed, you put on your socks, you put on your trousers, you put on your coat. This continuous recycling of the routine eventually becomes habit. You continue to practice the same thing every day. It becomes second nature, and to the point you'll have to look back and remember, cunt, fuck. Again, not look at the big picture of the project, but just to set yourself 1 minute. Just do 1 minute of the project. Get yourself sat down, pen to paper, and just do 1 minute. Set yourself a timer if you have to. A lot of people will find that once you've actually sat down and start doing that 1 minute, that the rest flows naturally. Make pretend deadlines. Tell yourself that something needs to be done way before it actually does. We've all been there. We've all done it. It's why we don't do our fucking homework until we're on the bus on the way to school when we've had 4 months to fucking do it. If the urgency isn't there, we're not going to get it done. So create the urgency, even if it's fake, even if it's imaginary. Make yourself accountable for it. Go to your lecturer, go to your teacher, go to your partner, go to your employer. Speak to them. Tell them, look, can you make the deadline earlier for me? If it's got to be done in a week, give me 2 days. You fucking get it done quicker. Get a partner or a friend or someone that you trust to make you accountable. Get them to check in with you, see how you're doing. Have someone be in the room with you. This is a very simple idea, but just having someone else in the room can kind of increase that urgency of like, oh shit, I better get it done. One last thing is, don't compare yourself to other people. Comparing yourself to other people has no real value to you. We are all living in a world where we're constantly comparing ourselves to others, and we're not living others people's lives. We are living our own. We need to start focusing more inwards on ourselves and appreciating what we've got to offer. Don't forget, you can have a million other people doing the same thing as you, but there'll only be one you doing what you're doing, and that in itself is value. Motivation and ADHD is an ongoing struggle for me. Even with all of these coping strategies and tips, I am always working on my internal dialogue, and maybe I always will. I've come a long way since the days of my 20s, and I wish I had a lot more of this knowledge back then, and I guess that's why I'm doing this video, really. I hope it's helped in some way, and I'll see you soon.